Hare Krishna. So, welcome to the Bhagavatam Katha series. Today we have Bhagavatam Katha series part 3. So, before we start, let us offer our Mangalacharan. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjanasalakaya Chakkhurunimilitam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. श्री चैतन्य मनोभीष्टं स्थापितं जन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदामयं ददाति स्वपदन्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवनं च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सगणश्री रघुनाथं वितं तं सजीवं सद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपदं सगणललितां श्रीविशाखान्वितं च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषाभानुसुत देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिय वंशा कल्पत्रिवासा कृपा सिंधुवैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यः वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमद्भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामीति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. So thank you very much for attending the class. So today we are going to discuss about the part 3 of our Bhagavad Katha series. So Srimad Bhagavatam Katha series is very very auspicious punyam. So in the part 1 we have discussed about the 6 question raised by the Saunaka Rishi, the sages of Naimisaranya, to Sutta Goswami, and the response of Sutta Goswami to these queries. And in part 2 of our series, Bhagavatam series, we have learned the history of Bhagavatam narrated by Sutta Goswami to all the sages in Naimisaranya. Today we are going to learn about the wonderful characteristic of Krishna, that is called Bhakta Vatsala, very much affectionate to the devotee Krishna. So Sutta Goswami is continuing the narration to the all the sages of Naimisaranya, headed by Saunaka Rishi, about the narration of the Krishna birth activities of Parikshit Maharaj. So he was continuing Sutta Goswami, he was telling about the Krishna, how Lord Krishna is so Bhakta Vatsala. Vatsha means cows, calf. How a calf is so much, a cow is so affectionate to the calf. Similarly, Krishna is very much affectionate to his devotee. So it is not so extraordinary or astounding that Lord offered great benediction to his devotee, or protection to his devotee. In this regard, there is a beautiful verses spoken by the Sudama. Let me show you beautiful verses. Sudama has spoken a very nice verses in this regard. The beautiful verses spoken by Sudama in 10th canto, 81 chapter, 35 verse. The Lord considers even his greatest benediction to be insignificant, while he magnifies even a small service rendered to him by his well-wishing devotee. Thus, with pleasure of supreme super soul, accepted a single palm full of flat rice, I bought him. So here say that how Krishna consider even his greatest benediction to be insignificant compared to even a very small service of the Lord, is pure devotee. So he is always very affectionate, protective towards his devotee. He himself say, although I am not partial, but I am very attentive to the devotee. In Bhagavad Gita chapter 9, 29, how he is very much affectionate to his devotees, In these beautiful verses, Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says that Samaham sarvabhutesu name deshwati na priya jo bhajanti mam. In these beautiful verses, that jo bhajanti tu mam bhaktya maite tesu chapiyam. I envy no one, nor am I partial to anyone. I am equal to all. But whoever renders service unto me in devotion is a friend, is in me, I am also a friend. So Lord is very bhakta vatsala. Aham bhakta paradhina, na swatantra arhati. He spoke to the Durvasa Muni when Durvasa Muni was chased by the Sudarshan because he offended a devotee, great devotee Ambrish Maharaj. So he came to take shelter of Vishnu, Krishna. Krishna said, Aham bhakta paradhina, I cannot do anything because I am not free. I am under the control of Swatantrahi, Aswatantrahi Abhadajya. I am under the control of the devotee. So he is always affectionate, protective to the devotee. How can I leave a devotee? He told to gopis in this beautiful verses about the exalted sacrifice of the gopis. So he told these beautiful verses that since pure devotee give up their homes, wife, children, relative riches, even their lives simply to serve me without any desire for material improvement in this life or in the next, how can I give up such devotee at any time? I cannot give up them because they have sacrificed. So Lord is very, very affectionate and He is ready to give Himself to the devotee, Sadhava hudame maham, sadhuna mudame toham, madanyate na jananti, naham tebhya manam. So he here confirmed, the pure devotee is always within the core of my heart. I am always in the heart of pure devotee. My devotee do not know anything else but me. I do not know anyone else but of them. So this is the extraordinary quality of the Lord. He is very bhakta vatsala, very much affectionate to the devotee, very protective to the devotee. He can do anything for the devotee. He can give himself. The beautiful verses Uddhava is telling, I can even give to myself to the devotee. So today Sutta Goswami is narrating the extraordinary qualities of Lord, that how he is very bhakta vatsala. So when the Kurukshetra war was finished, that time all the respective warriors has been killed from both the sides, and Duryodhan was broken, was lying down, his spine was broken, about to die. That time Ashwasthama, the son of Dronacharya, Ashwasthama, what he did that when the five children of Draupadi was sleeping, he beheaded them. And in order to please the master, he took this head to the Duryodhan. But Duryodhan was not satisfied, at least. Least also he is not satisfied. And the Draupadi, under Draupadi and Pandava's camp, they understood that their son were killed while sleeping by Ashwasthama. So they were very grief stricken. Particularly Draupadi was very lamenting. It is stated in this very verse, in this beautiful verses. So they were all lamenting actually. Draupadi was very grief-stricken, and he was lamenting that their sons were killed. But in order to pacify, Arjuna was very much angry along with Krishna, and vowed that I will bring the head of the Brahmana who killed the son of Draupadi. So both Krishna and Arjuna was prepared with arms, with bow, gandivas, and Krishna was driving his chariot, and they were chasing Ashwasthama. Ashwasthama was fleeing away, just like there was a war between Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma, just like Lord Shiva was fleeing. Similarly, Ashwasthama was fleeing out of fear, and he could not, he was so tired, his horse was so tired, and he could not do anything. In order to save him, he released this Brahmastra, the ultimate weapon, that nuclear weapon, and even he does not know how to withdraw it. So, because of Brahmastra, there is a glaring light everywhere. Arjuna was very afraid. What is this going on? So he asked Krishna, "Oh Krishna, you are the knower of everything, you are Supreme Lord, please tell me." Then Krishna was informing him, "This is the Drona, the son of Drona, Ashwasthama, he released this weapon. Even he does not know how to revoke it. So in order to counteract that, you have to, release the again Brahmastra." Then when both the Brahmastra was there, it was very scorching for everyone, even the demigods. So Krishna finally told him to ask Arjuna to withdraw both the weapons. Then both weapons were withdrawn, and Ashwasthama was arrested by Arjuna and brought back to the camp. And Krishna was inducing Arjuna to kill him because he was very aggressor. It was not a ethic, it was not the religion that one should kill the boys while sleeping. Particularly one should not kill a old men, boys, women, or those who are surrendered. So we should not be, they should be protected. But it was a gross violation of ethics, dharma, the religion. So he should be, he is an aggressor. So he should be killed actually, beheaded. So at that time they brought, they bound Ashwasthama and brought in front of Draupadi. Draupadi saw that this son of Dronacharya, Ashwasthama, was very, very silent, and he was bowing down his head with a very guilty, and was bound. So he felt very compassion. He told, no, please do not do that. Because his father is our teacher. You learnt all the military because of his father. He is a Brahmana. His mother is still there, creepy. So please forgive him. So everybody was in favor of this Draupadi's argument, except Bhima. Bhima was very aggressive. Bhima said, no, he should be killed, because he has done a mistake. So in this way, Krishna was telling Arjuna that do according to your thing, so that you can satisfy everyone. So Arjuna forgave, did not kill Ashwasthama, but with his sword he caught his hair, and also there was a beautiful ornament on the head, was also cut off. So in this way he was, Ashwasthama was disarmed, weakened, insulted as good as death, and driven away from the camp. So in this way, Lord protected Lord. Actually, in this way, Yudhishthira Maharaj also accepted this idea of forgiving. So in this way, Ashwasthama was being driven away. Then Krishna was supposed to go to Dwaraka. Actually, he was prepared for Dwaraka. At that time, he was supposed to go back to Dwaraka. At that time, Uttara is the son of, wife of Arjuna's son. So Uttara said, "Oh Lord," beautiful prayer by Uttara. At that time, Uttara runningly coming down. Krishna was about to board on the chariot. So at that time, Uttara running and coming to the Lord, O Lord of the Lord, Lord of the universe, you are the greatest of mystic, please protect me, for there is no one else who can save in the clutches of the death. The beautiful verses. Uttara Uvacha Pahi 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 Mahajogin Deva Deva Jagatpate Nanyam Tadabhayam Pasya Etra Murtu Parasparam. So Uttara was running and praying the Lord. Please, although there are 5 Pandavas were there, their in-laws, but they know that the position of the Krishna, so immediately came to Krishna. And please help us. So Krishna can understood that in the womb of Uttara, Parikshit Maharaj is there. And Parikshit Maharaj and the Brahmastra was issued by the Ashwasthama. It was going to kill Parikshit Maharaj and destroy the womb embryo of the Uttara. So in order to protect, he as a super soul, he entered into this heart of Uttara, embryo of the Uttara, and covered by his Sudarshan Chakra and nullify the Brahmastra released by the Ashwasthama. So in this way he protected Lord protected his devotees Uttara. The Pandavas are devotee because they are a Pandavas family. So he protected. By seeing such a magnanimity, such a affectionate Bhakta Vatsala characteristic of Kunti Devi started beautifully praying. So Kunti Devi praying is Kunti Devi started praying beautifully that Sutta Goswami said, having patiently heard her word, Lord Krishna, who is always very affectionate to his devotee, could at once understand that Ashwasthama, the son of Dronacharya, had thrown a Brahmastra to finish the last life of Pandava family. Parikshit Maharaj was the last life. Because Pandavas, the 5 son of Draupadi was killed by Ashwasthama, and only the last family was left, he was Parikshit Maharaj. So he was in the embryo of Uttara. So Krishna protected the dynasty. O foremost among the great thinker Muni, seeing the glaring Brahmastra proceeding toward them, Pandava took up the 5 respective weapons. But Pandava could not actually do anything. The Almighty Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, having observed that a great danger was befalling his unalloyed devotee, who were fully surrendered soul, once took up his Sudarshan and digs to protect them. See, Brahmastra was released by Ashwasthama, something similar to nuclear weapon. So, and very, very pinpointed. Nuclear weapon may not be pinpointed, but the Brahmastra are very, very pinpointed. So, Ashwasthama has released, pointing to the to kill the last family of Pandava, that is Parikshit Maharaj, in the embryo of Uttara. Therefore, emergency was more important than the bhava. So Krishna is Bhakta Vatsala. Sometimes he vow not to take weapon, but emergency case he can do anything. He is better known as Bhakta Vatsala, the lover of his devotee. The Lord Supreme Mysticism Sri Krishna resides within everyone's heart as a Paramatma, as such, just to protect the progeny of Kuru dynasty, the last progeny of Kuru dynasty. He covered the embryo of Uttara by his personal energy. He covered it so that the last progeny of Uttara will be protected. Osonaka glories of Virgu. Although supreme Brahmastra weapon released by Ashwasthama was irresistible without check or counteraction, It was neutralized and foiled when confronted by the strength of Vishnu, Lord Krishna. That is the power of Lord. Any weapon cannot even, because it's own energy only. Any weapon, nobody can be equal, more strength, more powerful than Krishna. Aishwaryasya samagrasya veerasya is full of supreme veera, supremely powerful. In this way, he protected the Uttara's embryo of Uttara Parikshit Maharaj. O Brahmana, do not think that this to be especially wonderful in the activity of mysterious, infallible personality of Godhead. By his own transcendental energy, he creates, maintains, annihilates all the material things, although he himself is unborn. So he is inconceivable. Lord's activities are very adbhuta karmana. Adbhuta karmana, very inconceivable. Because he is supreme, he is a great. So his activities are always adbhuta karmana, wonderful activities. Just like lifting of Govardhan. Thus saved from the radiation of the Brahmastra, Kunti, the chaste devotee of the Lord, her 5 sons Draupadi addressed Lord Krishna as he started from home. So he was about to go, then Uttara came with running and asked Lord to protect his embryo because he was burning due to Brahmastra. So Lord entered as a super soul and covered this by his internal energy and nullified the Brahmastra. So by seeing this, Kunti Devi was very nicely praying now. How is praying? Beautiful prayers, series of prayers by Kunti Devi. Kunti Uvacha, the beautiful prayers start with Namaste Purusam Todyam Ishwaram Prakate Param Alakhyam Sarvabhutanam Antar Bahir Avastistam. Very beautiful prayers. So Kunti Devi is praying. Srimati Kunti Devi said, "O Krishna, I offer my obeisance to you because you are original personality, unaffected by the quality of material world. You are existing both within and without. You are invisible to all." Beautifully say. Namo Krishnaya. See, Namo Krishnaya. Namaste Purusam Todyam. You are the Purusha, Supreme Personality. Ishwaram Prakate Param. You are transcendental to this modes of material nature. Alokyam Sarvabhutanam. You are not visible. Antar Bahira. Although you are inside and outside. You are as a Paramatma, you are outside, but you are not visible. Krishna also confirmed, Naham Sarvasya Prakasa Jogo Maya Samarbhita. He is covered. He is covered by the curtain of Maya. He is not visible to non-devotee particularly. In the next verses, Kunti Devi is praying that Maya Javanikhachanam Achanam Agyada Dukhyajam Abhayam Nalokosya Muddhadrista Nato Natyadhara Jatha. Beautiful verses. Being beyond the range of limited sense of perception, you are an eternally irreproachable factor covered by the curtain of deluding energy. You are invisible to the foolish observer, exactly as an actor dressed as a player is not recognized. Just like in a drama, actor is playing different act with different get up, dress, costume, and cannot be recognized. Similarly, you also play so many different way, and you are covered by your. Sometimes you come as a Kurma Avatara, Meena Avatara, Narsinga Avatara, Rama Avatara, and it is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So, the foolish observer, you are invisible. You are not exposed to foolish observer. You don't disclose your identity, real identity to foolish observer. You are beyond the range of limited sense. Adhokyaja. Adhokyaja means adha patit, akhyaja, jagyat. So adhokyaja means you cannot akhyaja, beyond the perception of our senses eyes. That is called adhokyaja. You yourself descend to propagate the transcendental science of devotional service unto the heart of advanced transcendentalist, mental speculator, who are purified by being able to discriminate between matter and spirit. How then can we women know you perfectly? Then Kunti Devi is describing his region of coming. Very nice is introducing the identity of Krishna. Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopo Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namo. Who is that Krishna? Krishnaya Vasudeva. Let me offer my respectful obeisance unto the Lord who has become the son of Vasudeva, the pleasure of Devaki, the boy of Nanda, other cowherd men of Vrindavan, and enlivener of cows. Beautiful verses to glorify the Lord. By Kunti Devi in this way is glorifying Nama Pankaja Nabhaya, Nama Pankaja Maline, Nama Pankaja Netraya, Namaste Pankajangraya. So he is glorifying Nama Pankaja Nabhaya because he is the aunt of Krishna. So he is not starting with lotus feet because Krishna is very, very junior. He is the aunt of Krishna. So therefore he is starting with Nama Pankaja Nabhaya, Navi. Nama Pankaja Nabhaya, center of the abdomen, Navi, center of the abdomen, Pankaja Nabhaya, starting with Pankaja Nabhaya. My respectful obeisance unto you, O Lord, whose abdomen is marked with depression like a lotus flower, who are always decorated with garland of lotus flower, whose glance is as cool as lotus, whose feet are engraved with lotuses. So Krishna, everything is Nama Pankaja Nabhaya. The lotus feet is very beautiful. So Krishna's everything parts is like a lotus. His eyes is also Kamala Nayana, lotus. It's compared to the lotus. So beautiful. Also another reason why it is called lotus feet, Nama Pankaja Angra, because whenever Lord comes, he comes with his Goloko. Ananda Chinma Rasapati Tavis Tavir. So he is expansion, he is expand his rasa, he comes along with his Goloka Vrindavan manifest. So therefore, in Goloka Vrindavan is like a lotus flower. So Lord's feet is always engraved on the lotus flower. Therefore, Lord is called lotus feet always. His feet, lotus feet. Wherever he goes and made lila, he brings his abode. So therefore, his feet always engraved with lotuses. So Kunti Devi continuing the praying in this way. So he is now giving the different now he is remembering that, O Hritshikesh, master of senses, O Lord of the Lords, we have released your mother Devaki, who was long imprisoned, distressed by the envious king Kansa, me and my children from a series of constant dangers. So how Lord is so Bhaktavatsala, the characteristic of Bhaktavatsala, here it is mentioned that how Lord is very much affectionate. Devaki and Vasudev is the parents of the Lord. They were imprisoned by Kansa, so Lord came and released them. Also Pandavas were undergoing so much trials, trouble and tribulation, and Lord every time protected them. So these are the things Kunti Devi is remembering and glorifying the Lord and his the quality of his Bhakta Vatsala. Continuing his prayer, Kunti Devi is telling, O Hrstikesha, master of the senses, Lord of the Lord, you have released your mother Devaki, who was long imprisoned and distressed by the envious king. My children. So he is continuing the prayer that how my dear Krishna, your Lordship has protected us from a poisoned cake, from a great fire, from a cannibals, from vicious assembly, for suffering during our exile in the forest, from battle where great generals fought, and now you have saved us from the weapon of Asustam. We are so much obliged, Kunti Devi, by seeing that how Lord wonderfully entered into the embryo of Uttara and protected the last progenitor of Pandavas, Parikshit Maharaj. So he was very much obliged, appreciated So therefore he started glorifying beautiful verses, that how you have, every time you have protected us whenever we are in dangerous. Therefore Lord is very bhakta bachala. And therefore he is beautifully praying that Vipada Santusta Sasso Tatra Tatra Jagat Guru Bhavat Darsanam Yassad Apunur Bhavadarsanam. He was telling, let us the calamity come. It does not matter. If calamity come or made us to remember Krishna, made us to see Krishna, that is better than all other no calamities. That is better than not seeing the Lord. If the calamity is bringing the Lord, the calamitous situation made us to see the Lord, remember Lord, that is preferable. Therefore he is inviting, he is desiring that let this calamity comes upon me, so that I can remember. Because people usually remember when they are in distress. Prosperity nobody comes. So when they are distress and very precarious condition, they always remember Krishna, remember the God. Therefore Kunti Devi is praying, let the calamity come so that we will remember. Bhavat darsanam yasyad apunar bhava darsanam. So here telling, when we see the Lord, they no more seeing the bhava darsanam, the bhava sagara, the material existence, repeated birth and death. Beautiful prayer, this one. Bhavata darsanam. When you see the Lord, in all our, I wish all those calamity would happen again and again, so that we could see you again and again. For seeing you means we will no longer see the repeated birth. That is the importance of seeing the Lord. So spacious. It will purify, purge all the reaction of our sin, and made us eligible to go back home. People are not interested, they don't come to temple. Who is going to see the Lord? They do not want to hear. Who is going to hear? We can see the Lord through ears also, by hearing His glories. So that is the benefit of seeing the Lord, seeing His deity form, hearing about Him, so that apunar bhavadarsanam, no more repeated birth. It's a beautiful prayer by the Kunti Devi in glorifying Thee. Why we are not interested? Janma Ishchara Sutta Srivi Edhamanam Madapuman Naivarati Abhidhatum Bhai Tvam Akinchana Gocharam. Because we are so much puffed up. I have got money, I have got aristocratic birth, I am so beautiful. All these material opulences, when we are puffed up, we will not get the sense of subordination to the Lord, and we will never approach the Lord. My Lord, your Lordship can easily approach, but only those who are materially exhausted. Because one who is on the path of material progress, trying to improve himself with respectable parentage, great opulence, high education, bodily beauty, cannot address you with sincere feeling. That is the problem. So much puffed up. I have got this, I am that. So much materially progress. Those who are very puffed up and the path of material progress, how to ameliorate, how to improve the material progress, concerned about their material progress, how to improve with their respectable parentage, great opulence, high education, bodily luster, bodily beauty, cannot, they will not have that sense of subordination, sense of feelings, devotional feeling, sincere feeling for the Lord. But those who are materially exhausted, anya vilasita sunyam, for them you are easily approachable. Tvam akinchana gocharam. Kinchana means something. Prabhupada nicely explained this word, kinchana. Kinchana means something related to the material world. Akinchana means you are exhausted, no more. No more, nothing to do with the material world. Anya vilasita sunyam. For them easily approachable. They can easily approach you with feeling, sincere feeling. Otherwise, no. So beautifully prayers by the by Kunti Devi. Namakinchana vitaya nivritta gunavrittaya atmaramaya santaya kaivalyapataya namaha. My obeisance are unto you who are the property of materially impoverished. You have nothing to do with the action reaction of the material modes of nature. You are self satisfied, therefore you are the most gentle, the master of monist. So beautiful prayers continuing. Then Kunti Devi is telling, my lord, I consider your lordship to be eternal time, the supreme controller without beginning end, all pervasive one, distributing your mercy, you are equal to everyone, the dissension between living being due to social intercourse. You are equal because the dissension because of social divisions and all intercourse. Then he was very nicely praying. Vidambana, of course it is bewildering, the soul of universe. You work though you are inactive, you take birth though you are vital force unborn. You yourself descend among animals, men, sages, aquatic. This is very bewildering. See, Lord, although Supreme Lord, but He is coming with different. Although you are inactive, there is no work bind you. There is no work is assigned to you, but you still active. You are unborn, still you take birth. So it is a bit bewildering for us. Kunti Devi is admitting that. My dear Krsna, Jasoda took up a rope to bind you when you were committed an offense, and your perturbed eyes overflowed with tears which washed the massacre from your eyes, and you were afraid, though fear personified is afraid of you. This sight is bewildering to me. So here Yasodamaya is very nicely telling, bewildering me. The great personality, Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma, even fear personified. Yam bhaveti bhayam, yam viveti bhayam, soyam bhayam. The fear personified fears the Lord. But that Supreme Lord who is feared by the even great personality, Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, even the fear personified, he is feared of Mother Jasoda when he took up the stick and running after him, the Damodar Leela, running after him. He was crying, he was fearful. Rudantam muhunnetra yugmam mujantam karam bhaja yugmena santakana. He was crying. Jasoda view lukalad dhavamanam. So by fear of Jasoda, so he was running away from the grinding mortal. So it was very bewildering. It is stated in the Shastra that the great sun, moon, the Brahma, everybody is fearing. Madabhayat bhati bhatayam, madabhayat suryatapati. The sun, they are rising because of fear of me. Madabhayat suryatapati. The wind is blowing because of my fear. This is the verse is there in canto 3. That how everybody out of fear of Krishna, they were working. Madabhayat bhati bhatoyam suryastapati madabhayat barsat indra dhayati agnir murtucharati madabhayat. It is because of my supremacy the wind blows out of fear of me, the sun shines out of fear of me, the Lord of the clouds, Indra, sends forth showers out of fear of me, fire burns out of fear of me, death goes about taking his toll out of fear of me. So everybody fear of the Lord, but Lord is fear of Jasodamaya. Why? That is bewildering. Because Lord is Bhakta Vatsala. He is surrendering to his devotee. So in this way Kunti Devi is continuing his prayer. So it is very bewildering, and he is also very nicely explaining that some say that unborn, he was now narrating about or stating about this region of divine descent. Krishna descended onto this earth. Some say that unborn has taken birth for the glorification of the great pious king. Others say you took birth to please King Jadu, one of your dearest devotee. You appeared in his family as sandalwood appears in the Malay hill. So in this way is explaining that many regions of your descent in this earth, on this earth. Others say that both Vasudev Devaki prayed for you. You have taken your birth as their son. Undoubtedly, you are unborn. Yet you took your birth for their welfare, to kill those who are envious of the demigods. So it is the Krishna's Bhakta Vatsala. Etachansa Kalapushna Krishna tu Swayam Bhagavane Indrari Vyakulam Loko Murdanti Juge Juge. So Lord always Paritranaya Sadhuna Vinasaya Duskritam. In order to protect his devotee, he comes. Otherwise, there is no way of coming down, descending. He can kill Ravana, he can kill Kansa, even without descending as an incarnation. But in order to enact this pastime and give pleasure and protection to his devotee, he actually descends. That is the internal cause of his divine descent. It is stated in these verses that very nicely how he comes, अनुग्रहाय भक्तानां मानुषां देहास्थित भजते तदृक्रीडा यश्रुक्ता ततपर भवेत्. When the Lord assumed a human-like body to show mercy to his devotee, he engaged in such a pastime as will attract those who hear about them to become dedicated to him. So Lord, this is the reason, internal reason why Lord descends. Anugrahaya bhaktanam manusin deha astitah. Anugrahaya bhaktanam. To show your causeless mercy to your devotee, he would descend as a human like form. Otherwise, you have nothing to do with this material world. You can kill even all the demons. Within a second. No need to come down. But he enacted all the pastime so that we hear this pastime, glorious pastime, wonderful pastime of the Lord, then we become purified. It gives us pleasure, we become purified. In another verses also, Brahmaji is explaining the reason of Krishna's descent. Prapancham nisprapanchapi vidhambhayasi bhutale prapanna janatananda sandoham pratitam prabho. My dear Master, although you have nothing to do with material existence, you come to this earth and imitate material life just to expand the varieties of ecstatic enjoyment for your surrendered devotee. To increase the ecstatic enjoyment of your surrendered devotee, you have come. Aho bhagyam, braja nukisam, yan mitram paramanandam. Aho bhagyam. How fortunate the Brajavasis. Yam mitram paramanandam. Punna Brahma Sanatana. The great Supreme Lord become the friend of the Brajavasis. How great fortunate they are. So, in order to increase their ecstatic enjoyment of his pure devotees, so he comes down, descends. So in this way, Kunti Devi is continuing his prayer. Kunti prayer is very, very important, very nice, and everybody should learn and know these prayers. Others say that the world being overburdened like a boat at sea was much aggrieved, and that Brahma, who is your son, prayed for you, and so you have appeared in order to diminish the trouble. So in this way, continuing by prayers of the Kunti Devi, and yet others say you appeared in order to renovate the devotional service of hearing, remembering, worshipping, so on, in order that the conditioned soul suffering from material pain might take advantages and gain liberation. Renovate our devotional service because we have forgotten the Lord. So in order to, you have forgotten our relationship with Lord. So in order to renovate that relationship of bhakti, relationship, loving relationship, Lord has descended to revive our original consciousness, Krishna consciousness. So in this way, Kunti Devi continuing praying, and that time Yudhishthira Maharaj was still very sad, aggrieved, because he thought that because all this killing is going on, all these people killed in this war because of me, to establish me as a king, everybody, so many people have lost their lives. So he was very much feeling guilty, that he was telling, I cannot counteract by any means all these sins I have incurred. So and Lord is pacifying, Vyasadeva is pacifying, but nothing could pacify Yudhishthira Maharaj. At that time, this is Krishna took him to the Bhishmadev. Bhishmadev was lying in an arrow bed. He is waiting for a very auspicious moment to leave the body. And he was thinking of Krishna to see the Lord at the time of death. Krishna understood it. So he tricked. Although everybody pacifying externally, but internally Krishna is a Paramatma, Yudhishthira Maharaj was not convinced. So they, in order to bring them to Bhishmadev, so all the plan was orchestrated by the Krishna. So he took them to the Bhishma, all the people, Pandavas, Krishna, Arjuna, all the Pandavas, they came with chariot and to see the Bhishmadev, who was lying in bed of arrow. Also there are so many great sages like Vyasadeva, Angira, Vaishishta, Parshuram and his disciples, so many people, so many great sages, they came. And at that time, Bhishmadev was beautifully praying to the Lord, that first of all is glorifying the Arjuna, Pandavas. With these beautiful verses. What is that verse? Aho custom. The beautiful verses Pandavas were praying. Bhishmadev is praying. When they approached to the Bhishmadev seeing the Pandavas, he was very, very nicely glorifying the Pandavas. Aho custom, aho annayam, yad yam dharmanandanaha, jivitum narhata kilstam, vipra dharma chutyasraya. Bhishmadev said, oh, what a terrible suffering, what terrible injustice you good souls had to suffer for being a son of religion personified. You did not deserve to remain alive under those tribulations. Yet you are protected by the Brahmanas, God and religion. So you are protected by the Brahmanas, God and religion. As far as my daughter-in-law Kunti is concerned, upon great General Pandu's death, she became widow with many children. Therefore she suffered greatly, and when you were grown up, she suffered a great deal also because of your action. So he was glorifying these beautiful prayers. In my opinion, this is all due to inevitable time under whose control everyone is very. So because being a pure devotee, you are not supposed to suffer actually. But because of time, how wonderful is the influence of inevitable time. Otherwise, how can there be reverses in the presence of King Yudhishthira, son of demigod controlling religion, Bhima the great fighter with a club, the great bowman Arjuna with his almighty weapon Gandiva, above all the Lord, the direct well-wisher of Pandavas. So this is actually plan of the Lord, to test his devotee under tribulation, how they remember. And in this way Bhishma is praying after addressing these Pandavas, and also he is giving advice about so many dharma, Raja dharma, Pitru dharma, Varnashrama dharma, so many dharma to Yudhishthira Maharaj. After advising all the things, then he was silenced, and he was about to leave the body. He was beautifully praying. This is the Sri Bhishmo Vacha iti matir upakalpita Vishna iti matir. Bhishmadev said that let me now invest my thinking, feeling, willing which were so long engaged in different subject and occupational duty, in all powerful Lord Sri Krishna is always self-satisfied, but sometimes being leader of the devotee enjoys transcendental pleasure by descending to the material world. Although it is from him only the material world is created. So this is the reason he is also telling that to enjoy the transcendental pleasure. Ananda chinmaya rasapati tavi tavira evo nijarupataya kalavi go goloke evani vasati akhilatma bhuta. This is all anandam chinmaya rasa. Lord has pleasure potency. When he wants to enjoy, he incarnated on the earth and displays his pastime, expand his pastime. This is ananda chinmaya rasa. So therefore, Bhishmadev is praying at the time of leaving his body and remembering Krishna, remembering his particularly Parthasarathi form. And all this interaction during the war, he was remembering that how Lord broke his own promise in order to keep my promise. Because Bhishmadev promised that either Arjuna has to kill or Krishna has to take the weapon. So on the next day war, there is a fierceful war between Arjuna and Bhishma. Arjuna was supposed to be very weakened. Bhishmadev was very invincible power. That time Krishna was very angry and took the chariot wheel and wanted to kill Bhishmadev. So in this way he broke the promise, but he never allowed to break the promise of his devotees, Bhishma. And on the other hand, he also protected Arjuna. So Lord is wonderful activity. He does one thing with one activity does the so many purpose. So many purpose have been fulfilled. So there are different varieties of melo. Bhishmadev was chivalry melo, virya. Arjuna was servitorship. Arjuna was friendly, Sakha. So there are different melos, primary 5 melo and secondary 7 melo. In this way they are all related to the Lord. They are all engaged in the devotional service of the Lord. So all these things have been remembered by the Bhishma, and he finally closed his eyes and became silent and left the world. So how Lord is very Bhakta Vatsala. At the same time he protected Uttara, and the problem of Yudhishthira Maharaj was thinking as guilty of killing all the things. That has been fixed, resolved, because he took him to Bhishmadev. At the same time Bhishmadev also wanted to see Lord at the time of death. That also fulfilled. So Lord fulfilled all the desire, very affectionate to the devotee who fulfills all the desire and give all benediction. It is not so extraordinary because Lord is always Bhakta Vatsala. He protected from Brahmastra. He punished Asustama. So in this way, Lord is always very affectionate to devotee and protect his devotee. And he declared in Bhagavad Gita that Name bhaktya pranashyati konteya pratijanihi konteya name bhaktya pranashyati. You may declare to the world that my devotee will never perish. So in this way, how he is very protecting to his devotee. Although there are so many weapons has been released towards Arjuna, but every weapon was nullified because of the presence of Krishna. So many big divine weapons also nullified. And Lord is so Bhakta Vatsala, he introduced himself as a charioteer of the Arjuna. He is ready to serve the devotees. So that is his Bhakta Vatsala. Although he is Supreme Lord, he is ready to be a chariot driver of his devotee. So thank you very much. This is all about this Bhaktavatsala narration, Canto 1, chapter 7 to 7, 8, 9. Then 10th onwards, 10th to 19th is about Krishna left the Dwaraka. And after Krishna left the Dwaraka, then Parikshit Maharaj's birth activities and how he was being cursed and how he met the Sukadev Goswami. Up to 19th chapter, these all the things has been described. So we will continue in our next session. Thank you very much. Ganthara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Hare Krishna. All goes to Srila Prabhupada.